Hello and welcome to Caravan Escapades. I hope everybody's keeping safe and well. Today's vlog is the 8-question challenge. Get to know about you sort of type of challenge. We were nominated by Caravanning With The Mrs. Thank you very much, guys, very much appreciated. They're another new channel, very much like us, started around a similar sort of time, and are sort of building subscriptions steadily, so go and check them out. But I'll put a link in the description below to them. So that's Caravanning With The Mrs. They're the ones that nominated us. Right, so we'll start with the questions. What is your favourite music playlist? I used to be, as a hobby, a sort of mobile DJ, so I was one of those classic sort of DJs that did weddings, birthday parties, all that sort of thing. I kind of like most music, anything that you can sing along to. I love turning the music up in the car, singing along, finding a tune with Claire and Darcy May that we can sing together with, anything like that. But particularly like sort of 70s funk and soul, with a name like James Brown. Obviously I like James Brown as well, but again I like stuff from the 80s, you know, 80s floor filler stuff that kind of really gets you going, that sort of stuff, and some of the modern stuff as well. So so I do like quite a bit, so a bit of an eclectic mix right across the board. But if it had to be sort of a go-to, probably something from the 70s or 80s. Next question, what's the best thing you take away on holiday? Of course, after Claire and Darcy May, because the holiday is all about going away with those guys, probably the Caravan, to be fair. We pretty much cook everything on the Caravan when we're away, or we certainly try to. So yeah, so I reckon probably the Caravan is probably the best thing that I take away with us on holiday. What is your favourite food cooked when in the caravan or awning? Again, if it's the summertime, out on the Caravan again, I do like my fry-ups for breakfast, the bacon, the sausage, the egg, beans. Claire likes the sort of tomatoes and mushrooms and that sort of thing added to them. So certainly I like the breakfast, but I also like the evening barbecues with a bit of steak, some stoshies, burgers, that sort of thing. But if it's winter time, I think one of the favourite foods that I like, certainly when in the caravan, is we have a small slow cooker, and we get a chilli thrown in there. Claire generally prepares it before we go away, so we get the chilli thrown in there, and we get some jacket potatoes on in the caravan oven. So certainly the chilli on the jacket potatoes, if it's cold and it's winter time, is my favourite food in the caravan. How do you spend your evenings in the caravan? Summertime, after we've had the barbecue, we get Darcy May to bed, and then we either sit in the awning or sit just outside the caravan with a glass of wine, watching the world go by, but invariably chatting with other caravanners. We normally say hi and hello to everybody, and somebody kind of asks about your outfit, or what's your awning like, or how did you get that, how did you get on with that, and before you know it, we end up chatting with loads of different people about all sorts of different things, or they notice where you're from and say, oh, where are you from? We're from here. So certainly summer times, what we like to do in the caravan or in the evenings is sit outside, and invariably we end up chatting with lots of different people. And that's the great thing about caravan, is the fact that everybody's so friendly and chats with each other. Winter times, we generally like to get the caravan nice and toasty, snuggle up the three of us. Invariably we have early nights, but we might play a few games with Darcy May. Guess Who's one of her favourite games, so playing a bit of Guess Who or Connect 4, and then maybe just catching up on a bit of TV. So question 5, what is the worst caravan experience? Yeah, it was a bit horrendous, this one. It was about 3 or 4 years ago now, on the way back from a holiday in Lewin, Cornwall. It was the caravan that we had previously to this, and we'd set off relatively early. We'd set off about sort of 10 o'clock in the morning to get back sort of up to Nottingham, expecting to get back sort of late afternoon. We were getting probably close to Weston-super-Mare on the M5, and we'd heard on the radio that motorway was totally shut up ahead. There'd been quite a major accident actually, and it was pretty horrendous, traffic everywhere, and we were just really crawling along really slowly, if at all. And then we got a car came up next to us and said, papped us and sort of wound the window down and said, do you know you got a flat on the Caravan? I thought, oh no, here we go. So we were probably 200 or 300 yards away from the slip road off to Weston-super-Mare. So pulled in there, thought, okay, what I'll do is I'll get the Caravan wheel changed. It was on the offside, so the slip road was quite wide, or the hard shiner slip road was quite wide. So got the tools out, went around to drop the spare wheel from under the Caravan, only to find the spare wheel was no longer there. At some previous instance, somebody had stolen our spare wheel, which was a bit of a nightmare really. So whether it had been stolen in storage or at services or who knows, but our spare wheel had been dropped from the carrier and had disappeared and gone. So the only option I got then was I got a compressor with me to try and get a little bit of air into it, and kind of head into Weston-super-Mare, see if I could find any garages that were open. So I got some air into the tyre, noticed about a mile away from where we were there was some tyre fitting places, about 3 or 4 of them on this one estate. So got there, went to every one of them. Have you got one of these tyres? No, because I needed commercial tyres, that sort of stuff. Have you got one of these tyres? No, no, no. So that was pretty well uneventful. We were struggling at that point. By now it was about 4:45 in the evening. There was one of these big Asda superstores, so basically I phoned, I sort of managed to get into there, and unfortunately by the time we got there and parked in the back of the car park, the tyre pretty much shredded itself, so we weren't going anywhere. So I called the breakdown company. They sent somebody out to me, again probably about 7 o'clock by the time they got out to me, and they couldn't get a tyre to me, or they couldn't get one till the next day. So at that point it looked like we were going to be spending the evening in the Asda car park. So again, traffic was still horrendous everywhere, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to give this one more try. So phoned round a load of these sort of emergency tyre fitters, these mobile tyre fitters, found one in Taunton who'd got a tyre, and he actually managed to get to us. Took him a bit of time to get to us, mind. I think he basically, because he was coming from Taunton, he managed to come in through the back road, so got to us. So we got the tyre changed and got on our way. But again, the M5 was still pretty much clogged at this point. So I thought, right, I'm not going to get back onto the M5. I'm going to take the roads in through Bristol. So I took the roads in through Bristol. Everything seemed fine. We got home early hours of the following morning. I think it had taken us about 21 hours to get home, that sort of thing. And lo and behold, a week later, I get a ticket or a fine for driving down a bus lane through Bristol. It was late in the evening, it was chucking it down with rain, and I didn't even know. So that was a pretty much horrendous trip home in the Caravan. Didn't put us off caravanning, and we've not had anything certainly as bad since. I know it was a bit of a long story, but there was so much happened on that one, I thought I'd better let you know. What is the most useless thing you always take away with you? To be honest, probably about 50% of everything we take away with us. There's only the 3 of us, and we've got a twin axle 6-berth Caravan, so we've got quite a bit of space. And what I managed to do, and Claire also to a certain degree, is fill it with all sorts of things. We take all sorts of gadgets, camping equipment, clothing, walking boots, wellies, all those types of things, and we don't use half of it. We don't use half of it at all, but I suppose I like to think I'm prepared. So yeah, useless bits of kit, they'll always get a use one day. I'm sure they will, but we probably take far more than we should ever take with us. What is the funniest caravanning moment? I think the funniest caravan moment is probably in our early days with Darcy May in the Caravan. She was such a card. We took her away from about 6 weeks old caravanning. She used to love it, with the sort of smiles and the laughs and all those sorts of things that we used to have. And I think it was probably at night, because we used to sort of sleep across the double bed at the front, and the gap between the kind of drawers here and the side is where she used to sleep. We used to sleep her. She was that tiny, we used to sleep across ways in there. So certainly the funniest moments we've had have been away with Darcy May. And the last question, name a fascinating fact about you. Probably one fact, but kind of linked into two. A few of you might know or don't know, I used to be in the RAF, and I spent most of my time working on the Harrier jump jet. Across in Germany and back in the UK at Wittering, managed to travel all over the world, certainly with a Harrier force. Had an absolutely amazing time, amazing experience, and working on such an iconic aircraft. Truly privileged to have done it, and have met and made some great friends who are still friends now. And another fascinating fact linked to that is when I was stationed at RAF Wittering, Princess Diana at the time was the honorary commandant, and she used to come to the camp once a year. And I went to a formal dinner and basically sat just sort of a few yards away from her at the formal dinner and got to meet her at the formal dinner. So that was my fact, or two facts kind of linked into one. So that's my 8-question challenge. Thank you very much, Caravanning with the Mrs, for nominating us on that one. I'm going to nominate 3 other vloggers. I'm going to put the links down there. Please check these guys out as well and subscribe if you haven't. The first one is the guys over at Crafty Caravanners. I'll nominate you. Caravantastic and Beyond the Blue Door. So it's the Crafty Caravanners, Caravantastic and Beyond the Blue Door. So I'll put the links to their Facebook, sorry, not Facebook pages, their YouTube channels down there. So head over, take a look at those guys and subscribe to those. So Crafty Caravanners, Caravantastic and Beyond the Blue Door. So I mentioned briefly their Facebook. For those that you don't know, we've got a very friendly Facebook group which is starting to grow. I'll put the link again along here, but if you just search for Caravan Escapades, you'll find it on Facebook. I don't know what Facebook is. Facebook, you'll find it on Facebook, so come along and join us. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you found that enjoyable and informative. Give us a thumbs up if you did. Give us a thumbs down if you didn't. Very much appreciated. If you're subscribed, thank you very much. Thanks for being along the journey with us. If you're not subscribed, why don't you subscribe? You can always unsubscribe later on, but see where we're going and join us along the journey. So subscribe, like and share. Hit the notifications bell and you'll get notified when we put out some new videos. So that's another one from Caravan Escapades. Thank you very much. Thanks Caravanning with the Mrs for nominating us. Thank you very much, guys. Hopefully we'll do some more like this at some time in the future. Take care and we'll see you on the next one.